So, I'm going to do a video on my opinion of Kurt Cobain's death. I originally thought that he may have faked his death so that he could raise his kid because, like, there was something deeper going on there than anybody knew. Either that or he really did unalive himself, and if he did, he would. The birdshot didn't do it, so he would have had to have went through the pain of it not being all the way done and finishing it off with, you know, the drug or whatever. But anyways, uh, I know my husband has a different opinion that he could have been murdered, but they could never figure out how. So I'm gonna go over Joe Burns' testimony because he was there, and I'm obviously not gonna include all of it because I don't want to like get copyrighted. But there is one place in here, if you watch the subtitles, he talks about dynamic magic or dynamic magic. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but anyways, in dynamic magic, um, they do blood rituals, and there are two wounds in his groin where they could have bled him or been doing bloodletting, and they, because he was a star, and blood from a person like that has to have a lot of power, I'd suppose. But anyways, he was doing the tattoos. Joe Burns was doing the Carlson's tattoos, I think, and uh, he was telling him about how he was into dynamic magic. Dylan Carlson was in the original video that this woman posted of Joe Burns' testimony. Now, I follow along with all of American Spy Fox and stuff like that, and so does me, my husband and I do, just anybody that does anything on Kurt Cobain. So we really like any of your guys' opinions, but mine I would like to put out there. It didn't even click until I watched this. I said something about it, and I only told a couple of people, and the clip may have been taken out of here because it's only 20 minutes now, and the original interview I think was longer than that because I remember the first day it was posted it was like 30 minutes to an hour. But you can tell where they cut anything. They cut it out in the Dylan Carlson part where he talks about interviewing Dylan Carlson. So I'm just going to go through here and just give my opinion on some of this stuff. It almost hurts me to hear him talk. And another thing is he keeps throwing his tattoos up. I think he was hoping that they would ask him about his tattoos, but I don't think anybody did. I think his tattoos have a lot to do with what was going on with them as a group, like behind the scenes, like who they were and what they done and stuff like that. But anyways, that's just my opinion. I don't even know. I would love to know what his tattoos stand for.
With my girlfriend Bonnie Dillard, Callie Witt, Jennifer Adamson, and other characters that showed up. Dylan Carlson.
I think the other character that showed up may have been Courtney Love, but I don't know. He loved Courtney, so he may have been protecting her. And she had like 3 alibis. It's too safe. Too safe. But I mean, I don't know. Dylan Carlson told everyone to leave because something big was about to go down before anything even happened. So Dylan would have had to have been the one that knew something. I would like to question that person. And Courtney Love. Just to see what her opinion is. To see because I don't think she's talked about it ever since it happened. And I do believe someone had the rumor go around that she took some of his hair.
Tell me, that we all need to get out of there and trip would be fine. Cooking up want to go up back um, up anywhere with Dylan, but they just
He didn't want to
they
go
got to
anywhere
go
else
back
with Dylan because they'd already
upstairs
been somewhere with Dylan. So
with them. Dylan's doing it like just outright, but the other guy is like falling back until he decided, fuck it, Dylan, you know, uh, they need to, he needs to do this and just do it or whatever, and quit talking and just um, kind of using the body to, yeah, and trying to push, or whatever. He gets basically murdered that way, past the doorway, but all like working on getting, yeah, her put up into the greenhouse, and then you got Kelly on me all of a sudden, um, trying to saying there's a bunch of reasons why it might be good to take off from there. As
Callie's trying to get them all to leave because Callie DeWitt knows something's going down. So that person knows something, I'm pretty sure. Callie DeWitt even had a room in that house, evidently. And Kurt was sitting in that room most of the time and they didn't even know he was there.
Dylan's trying to coerce Kurt and and trying to
But would they ask him what kind of food, man? What kind of food did Kurt? Whenever you could have just asked all this other stuff, right? Maybe they just couldn't think of the questions
physically
because it was like spur of the moment or something.
that way. I got Callie trying to talk to me or whatever, in, about like taking off, that we should get out of there. And I'm thinking maybe that
Okay, now this next part, they start talking about protecting Courtney and stuff like that, and he's also talking about the other person in the room. So why is he relating the other person in the room to Courtney? Why is he even talking about those same two people in the same sentence if it wasn't Courtney, you know? Which it may have been. She just didn't want to get in trouble for it.
shouldn't
I think they probably know who did it. Unless he faked his own death so he could raise his kid. I could understand that because he really didn't like the publicity because publicity didn't really have any laws then to protect musicians. And still today they are developing new laws and rights for musicians and people that are in the spotlight and stuff like that. So
I was trying to go with
if he
on.
if he did unalive himself, he would have had to have shot himself with the bird shot, and then realize had to he probably had the backup of the shot or whatever, and then he had to take the shot with being shot with the bird shot. So that's pretty dark. But if he did, then that's probably what had happened. So there's three scenarios here of what could have happened. But finding out which one it is pretty hard, you know?
Those guys, well, with Dylan and Kurt, but that's not working out so good, Kurt's getting fast talk, um, and it seems like when they do
I keep
stuff.
seeing Curt sitting in like
Uh,
a brown leather chair. Like as soon as you walk in the door in a dark room with tall ceilings. I don't know if that's what the place looks like inside, but
the stairs that
or someone sitting in a
the
brown leather
guy
chair.
start to give Dylan a hand. Um,
Now, by all means, if the people that made this video, if you don't like it, me reviewing it, just send me a message or put it in the comments and I'll remove it. You know, but I'm not using all of the footage, and technically it should be public domain since he is a eyewitness testimony. You know, this is actual evidence for people to be able to review. So I don't know if it's public domain or he's an eyewitness and it's a testimony. So
get him up
everybody tried to say it was fake,
the
but I do believe he was there. He's telling the truth that he was there. It's just, it's just hard for him. And I think he's in withdrawal in this because they wanted him to be sober, but he didn't sleep good, and they keep cutting those. They cut those parts out where he was saying he doesn't feel good. He doesn't he didn't get much sleep. This is so hard, to talk about this. They cut all of that out, and one of those clips has in there where he said that Dylan Carlson was practicing dynamic magic. Now you can't see what or hear or understand what he's saying, but he did say dynamic magic. If you could post the original video of this testimony, or if someone could legally, grab this video somehow, I bet you will find it. You will find it. I bet you money that I don't have, you will find it.
stairs. You know what I mean? He was fucked up when he came back down. Didn't need to go back up
Now this is
the
not
stairs.
paranormal, but I was channeling. I have been able to channel Kurt because I connect with musicians through their music, especially past musicians, and I mean, yeah, it's really hard to explain. But if you're interested, let me know in the comments, and I'll try and make a video on how to explain how I can connect with them. I think it's because they've always been there for me, and I'm just really close to them, and I am whatever the heck I am, anyways, too. So
Trying to get him to go do another hit of dope. There was no need for that,
yeah,
and
because
it's
he'd
like,
already done it.
like, what the fuck?
They may have been
Like,
trying to get him effed up so they could take his blood for some type of ritual for someone to be famous, or just bloodletting rituals. There's a lot of them out there. So if I could see the house, maybe they have some kind of maybe they had some kind of room, special room that they done it in, and maybe that's where they were trying to get him to go back up there. There was two wound marks. The first one was small, the second one was large, right? In his groin. They couldn't explain that. The first one may have been where he had already given blood to them, and then the second one may have been where they finished him off, and they didn't mean to, but you could get some people just get really carried away with things like that, and they don't care what they do for fame. You know
do
it?
more dope,
Sad.
It's like fucking, they had a premeditated game plan. You know what I mean?
Or they could have
At
had
that
a
point,
premeditated game plan to, like, help him go on his way or whatever. Then that would have been three ways of killing him, because he also believed in, all this stuff. And, dynamic magic is a type of fairy magic. I don't know anything about it. But I researched a little bit on it. I don't really like looking too much into those things, which I probably should, but I just like to follow my own spiritual compass, as things like that will naturally unfold and happen for you.
I mean, well, I felt like I should have done something, but it's like like, and at the same time, Bonnie shows up with Callie and her came out of
So Callie DeWitt went to get Bonnie to come and get him to leave.
the driveway part to
He probably didn't want to leave Kurt.
left away from the garage. She's trying to get us to go right, and I'm down to go, but I want to go. Uh, I want to find out. I guess what the fuck is that going on with fucking Dylan and basically I want to find out what's going on with everything and Bonnie doesn't. Um, she wants me to get the car and she wants to get out of there. Um, and so Callie's right before that, he walked away or whatever. Um, and then it was just me and Bonnie for a sec. We heard because me and Bonnie were together. Um, you know, talking out the driveway when that I think the gunshot happened. We were out in the driveway and we're right by the driveway. We had a lot of guns and stuff, and it wasn't just like a regular gunshot from a pistol or a rifle. It was not as loud as a regular gunshot. Just she wanted to get out of there, and we finally left there um, late that night. We did leave finally. Jen and Kelly came with. We did leave and went all the way to Jen's house.
It sounds like they're all just couples, like Jen and Kelly, and then him and Bonnie, and then Kurt and Courtney.
And we
They all just hung out.
and I didn't. She kind of went spiraling. Fuck. Um, like the heroin use got really bad after that, and I got the fuck out of there, just like Callie was saying that we should all do. But I think I'm the only one that looks that real bad after that, and I got the fuck out of there, just like Callie was saying that we should.
See, he says whoops because he catches himself. He's not supposed to say, like just like Kelly was saying that we should, because how could anybody know that anything's going to happen like that unless Callie's just, involved?
That we should all do. But I think I'm the only one that looks that really got the fuck out of there. It seems like those other people just
It's the only one that listened.
hung, got with Courtney, and it sounds like they all just
So Courtney was there.
Courtney. I thought yeah,
They gotta take care of my Courtney.
be up in everyone's business, but they did not do that at all. They stayed away from people, or you know what I mean. They were just in and out. It just like goes to my head thinking about it. Callie was actively trying to, like get some people out of the house, like me and Bonnie, um, anybody that could be like, could talk to the cops or whatever, be a witness. Um,
Either that or, Court. Kurt had to go like into witness protection or something for some reason. Wasn't there some kind of watch murder on the loose then? The Zodiac person or something? I think that was happening right around the time. I think that was like what I thought when I first heard about it. But then I heard his testimony, the original testimony, and I heard that about dynamic magic, and then I put that with the the marks right in his groin where your artery runs through, you know, and researched dynamic magic, and it popped up they have bloodletting rituals and things like that. And he said that Callie DeWitt was into some dark stuff. So I mean, I don't know, right? It could be.
Kelly was straight up telling me, you already need to get out of here, take off,
Callie DeWitt's still trying to hurt him out.
like, like far away, you know what I mean? Like at least a couple states away.
But why send him a couple states away? Because there were witnesses to what happened, I guess. I'd like to talk to this guy. Let me tell you. And Courtney Love too, because nobody out here has interviewed Courtney Love yet. And maybe she will give me the benefit of the doubt or let me interview her and ask her a few questions. Right?
Here's some of this here. You know, you have these friends you grow up with, and you totally know something about them, like
You know them if you grew up with them. You know, see, I missed out on that as a child because I moved around a lot. I was never anywhere longer than a year. But my husband, he got to grow up and like with his his cousins and his friends and stuff all the way until he turned like 17, 18 years old. And he got to experience that type of childhood of being able to grow up with people and you know everything about them if you grow up with them, you know it.
shit. Dylan's really smart. Um, and but you know, there's something about Dylan. It seemed like, oh shit, I'm saying this out loud. Um,
They cut it out
you have to know how to be around some people. You know, like you can hang out with people you know that, and you've known them forever and stuff like that. But there's certain things you don't want to do with that person. Like
because you know them.
you might not want to fucking OD with this person. Are they going to bring you back to life, and do they have some kind of weird ulterior motive to let you die? You know, it's really hard on how to put this in, and I shouldn't be talking. Oh my god. Dylan was a smart cat, or you know what I mean? He's a real smart dude. Um, Dylan's really smart, and I mean, Dylan's a fucking like you just do something horrific and it doesn't really bother you at all. But you don't want to leave Dylan in charge, maybe of some important shit like your well-being. Maybe you call that someone that sees some horrible instead of getting freaked out by it is just curious about it and watches it.
The suicide note wasn't
Like,
in his handwriting.
read it myself or whatever. It was just read to me.
Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoy going over this with me and learning of my opinion of, what could have happened to Kurt. There are a few different things, so maybe we will be able to decipher what actually did happen one day. Anyways, have an amazing day, truth seekers, and keep seeking the truth.